favor.
You was here last night, too, wasn't you?
I was singing at the Blue Monkey last night.
She was not. She was smooching with your brother.
You was here, and you was smooching with my brother.
That's a dirty, rotten lie, Johnny.
Don't give me that. You've been smooching with everybody. Snuffy, Al, Leo, Little Mo with the gimpy leg, Cheeks, Boney Bob, Cliff. I could go on forever, baby.
You got me all wrong.
All right. I believe you. But my Tommy gun don't.
Johnny, you're the only duck in my pond.
Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
Baby, I'm over the moon for you.
You gotta do better than that.
If my love was an ocean, Lindy'd have to take 2 airplanes to get across it.
Maybe I'm off my hinges, but I believe you. That's why I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna give you to the count of 3 to get your lousy, lying, low-down, 4-flushing carcass out my door.
She's rat bait.
1, 2. 3. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Film Bros Podcast. My name is Isaiah Lucas, and I'm joined by my co-hosts.
Abraham.
And Nick.
How you guys doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm cold.
Freezing
Yeah,
cold.
it's cold over here. We're
It's
definitely
cold.
getting in the holiday spirit.
Yeah. What was it? The high was 47?
Yeah,
Which
something
40
like that.
something, which is wild.
Might not be that crazy to some people listening, but
I can already hear people on the East Coast being like,
That's not cold.
"That's not cold."
That's a summer day for us.
Bro.
people be walking around with shorts in this kind of weather.
Yeah,
Call them freaks.
it gets 110, 115 over here
Yeah,
sometimes
that's
in the summer. So it gets hot. We're not used to this.
No. It is a little cold, man.
Yeah.
I love the cold, but still, it's like,
It's chilly.
usually when I stay still, I can radiate heat and warm me up.
Yeah,
But nah, today my fingers are, they're icy, man.
yeah.
Feel it in the bones.
It's cold. How about
Yep.
you? How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm ready to have some downtime with the holidays.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I'm excited for Christmas. I'm excited for the holiday season that's coming up, just to be able to hang out with family and, spend time with loved ones and watch everybody open their gifts and all that stuff and everything. It's a fun time for me.
Yeah.
And I'm excited because I got to come back to this movie. I feel like I never watched this one. I always watched the first one. So whenever we talked about doing the second one, I was like, man, I haven't watched that. I never really watched the second one. I
Yeah.
always watched the first one. I know I have watched the second one before, but it's one that I don't ever return to, like maybe like every other year or something. But like no joke, every Christmas, Home Alone 1 is the one that I go back to.
It's the one everyone goes back to.
Yeah.
And
It's the OG.
It's the OG. I definitely do not remember. I did not remember this movie. I thought I did. I don't remember this movie at all.
Yeah,
it was
I thought I
basically
did.
like a first time watch for me. And I never hear anyone talk about it.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing about this movie. I never hear anyone say like, "Yo, Home Alone 2 though? You ever see that one? You watch that one annually?"
Yeah.
It's always the first one.
Yeah.
And I think after watching it, I can see why.
Yeah.
Initially, I was really excited to dive back into it, to see kind of what new and interesting takes they're going to bring up, where the story's going to go, how they're going to justify them leaving him again, literally twice.
Yeah.
Is this like a year? Like, it's
Yes,
only
it's
been a
supposed
year?
to be a year difference. It's only a year.
Worst parents around, dude.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
For real,
call
they
CPS on them.
need CPS called on them, bro. But that won't ever happen because freaking Peter McAllister is a crime boss of
Dude,
Chicago.
he's a mob boss.
His pockets are heavy, bro.
He's got to
He's
be.
never.
He's got
lacking.
power. He's like Tony Soprano.
I don't get it, man. Like, what does this man do? He just hustles?
He's got power somehow.
he-
He lives in this nice house. his family and his intermediate family all on these extravagant trips for Christmas. He's able to stay in these grand hotels and have them bring toys everywhere they go, ship everything.
And then he had a freaking envelope full of cash just ready
just
to go.
in his backpack, and then didn't freak whenever he lost it. Is able to go through airports like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Well, we got to remember this was pre.
It may be pre, but Chicago, the O'Hare Airport, I'm sure is insanely big, and for him to just get this, free pass to like.
Well, they
go
know
through there,
he pays
you know?
off the people. Maybe
Yeah.
he pays off TSA.
He's got people on
got
payroll, man.
he has
Yeah.
his own jet, right?
Something.
Might as well. I mean,
He's always in first class.
true. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that. I saw that. He's got those nice little recliner seats.
Yep.
He said,
He
"Kids,
is
kids,
a man of power.
kids, get to the back.
Yeah.
I'm going to the front."
Yeah.
He is a man of power. That's
He is.
factual.
He hit a rich flex for sure.
Yeah.
That's true.
So off rip, how you feeling about this movie?
I remember the first one being better.
The first
So,
one. The first one.
No joke. Okay, so I've already watched the first one this year. I watched it. I had my nephew stay the night, and he had never seen the movie, and so I was like, "Let's watch Home Alone." And so I, checked with the parents, make sure it's fine, and we watched Home Alone together. And he was having a good time. Loved it whenever Marv and Harry, or is it Harry or Henry?
Yeah. Harry.
Harry and Marv come to the house and are getting dunked on by Kevin. Loved it. Thought it was
Kevin Durant?
hilarious. Yeah, Kevin Durant.
You said dunked on, so
Yeah, it's true.
Oh.
Loved it. Thought it was hilarious. And I straight up even though I watch this movie every year, I found myself straight up laying in bed with my nephew watching this thing, and then at the end of it,
Feeling great.
feeling great because everyone comes back, they have a great Christmas, and then tearing up whenever freaking you see the old man
Yeah.
make amends with his son and his granddaughter, and he's holding his granddaughter on Christmas Day, and he looks over and sees Kevin. He's just like, "Thank you," and I was just like,
It's
It's ridiculous.
What movie are you talking about?
Home Alone 1.
Yeah, the first one.
We never said what movie we were watching.
Oh, yes. Last
Oh.
week, I brought up the movie we were watching, which is Home Alone 2,
Yes.
Lost in New York, directed by Chris Columbus and written by John Hughes.
Yeah, so it's the same team. that
Same
did the first
exact
one.
team. Literally same exact team. I think they got every single actor to come back.
Yes.
So, yeah, there's no time has passed.
Nope.
When did the first one come out? Do you remember?
It came out 2 years before, so
So 1990?
Yeah, I believe it started in the 90s.
Okay.
And then
He went on to direct another film in 1991. I think it's called How Time Flies or something like that.
I think after this too, Chris Columbus went and did Mrs. Doubtfire.
Did he really?
I think so.
I'm looking right now on his page.
The next movie he did also had a lot of the same cast went to that one.
Okay.
So it's they just are following him along.
Yeah.
His movies.
Yeah.
But man, I'm gonna have to search that one up. I forget the name.
Okay. But regardless, this movie does kind of get, I feel like, maybe a little slept on. And I think it's because there's just so many Home Alones now.
Yeah.
But the only main Home Alone that I remember is Home Alone 1. This Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2, Home Alone 3, and Home Alone 4 are the only ones that I remember. But I
Okay.
very vividly remember 4.
my
I've only
conversations.
ever watched 2.
Yeah,
1
my
and 2.
conversations with people go, "Oh, what's that one when they replace the kid?"
Yeah.
And that's obviously the third one.
Yeah.
They replaced the kid.
Yeah. Home
It's
Alone
not-
3 is not
it's not-
Macaulay Culkin.
Nope.
Well, no, yes, I know they.
Yeah.
I know they replaced
Home
him.
Alone literally is Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
For a lot of people
And then
growing
3,
up.
it's
His name is Alex something in the film or
Which one's the
Yeah,
one with the chicken pox?
I
that
couldn't
is
even tell
3.
you.
That's 3.
That's the one that I remember.
He stays home because he's got the chicken pox, and then he gets burglarized.
I don't know about that one.
That
And
one's
then
okay.
I was reading the 4th one that apparently Kevin McAllister is a teenager and his parents divorce.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait. So he's back in it on the 4th one?
No, Macaulay Culkin is not in it. It's a new kid that is playing Kevin McAllister, but his parents divorce, and it's a whole new
Taking
family.
Back the House, it's called.
Yes. It's a whole new family, all this stuff. new robbers and everything. There's like a woman robber now in the fourth one.
Yeah, it looks like.
And then there's like a new one that's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, don't
That
watch
one-
that one.
don't
called like
watch.
Home Sweet Home Alone or
Don't
something.
watch that one.
Isn't it the kid from Jojo Rabbit?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about it during that episode. It is not a good movie.
Yeah.
It's not good at all. Like it's significantly getting worse as they go.
Really?
Yeah, it's like Home Alone 1 is here, lower, and then it's just like don't even bother.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I think that just happens with classic movies though. Like the more times you try to rehash old things, the more times you try to just bring up nostalgia, a lot of the times it kind of gets a little grating. You're just
yeah.
like, why would I watch this one when I already have a great one to watch?
Yeah.
Like if you're doing all the same things but less interesting, why would I even return to you?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go to the first one. It's so
Yeah.
much better.
Yeah.
Um,
That's kind of how I felt with this second one, because there are a lot of callbacks in the second Home Alone to the first one, but the way that they do the callbacks kind of feels like, hey, you remember Angels
you
with
do.
Filthier Souls? Remember? You've been smooching with my brother. You remember that one? Like, and it was just kind of like, okay, yeah, I get it. And then the kids are scared of the park instead of kids are scared of the dark.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just kind of felt like they were just like, let's put all these things in that everybody loved about the first one and make the second one almost have like no identity at all.
None. You have an old scary man, and now you got an old scary woman.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, very unique there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Not to play my hand too early, but I was a little disappointed in this.
Okay. Well, we'll dive into it.
Yes, we will.
I think, just the first category alone of favorite scene might tell, because I only have like 3 favorite scenes.
Yeah.
Me too.
Okay.
What?
I think my
Well,
first.
before this movie is literally just Kevin gets lost again. He gets left behind, and he goes on the wrong plane to New York instead of to Florida.
Yes.
So his family are all in Florida, looking like they're having a miserable time. Honestly, like what? It's the weather. It looks terrible.
Yeah.
Every time we get to see Florida, it's like storming. Doesn't look like
They're in
Christmas at all.
hurricane season, bro.
It's freaking horrible.
Yeah.
And he gets his. It's like a whole nother like. I wish you weren't my family anymore. I wish I could have my own vacation.
Yeah.
And of course, he gets his wish. He goes to New York with his dad's credit card, and he has the time of his life.
Yep.
And of course, we run into the sticky
The
bandits.
Sticky Bandits now is their
Not
name
the wet
change.
bandits.
Not the wet bandits. The sticky bandits are there, and they're willing to cause more crime.
Yeah.
Ruckus.
Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah.
First favorite scene. I'm gonna start with the Kevin Solo.
Okay.
Kevin Solo.
Well, real quick, it is streaming on Disney Plus along with all the other Home Alones.
It is. You're right.
And it's rated PG.
I think so. This movie should be rated R.
This movie is Jigsaw's origin story.
Yeah. That. I mean, he was honestly.
Kevin McAllister turns into a serial killer.
Dropping the
Yeah.
chainsaw down the staircase is
Yeah.
similar to the brick scene.
Yeah.
Tell me it's
American
not.
Psycho.
Tell me it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, and Kevin has this little like look in his eye, especially when he electrocutes Marv.
He likes
where he
seeing
straight up
people
he
in
like
pain.
yeah, dude, he's a sadist.
Yeah,
he,
he
just
is.
is like he cranks the amperage on the thing and is just kind of like
Love the smell of burnt flesh.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, now the only thing I need is Macaulay Culkin now like reenacting that scene from American Psycho where he drops the thing down the chainsaw down the thing and goes ah! He's just like covered in blood.
That'd be perfect. That would be completely fitting for this movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, first favorite scene. We can get into that.
Yes.
I put the Kevin Solo.
Yeah.
I was so caught off guard. This is when he was at the play or the recital thing,
Okay, yeah.
and I did not expect them to be like, this is his solo.
Yeah.
I was like, this kid is a singer now.
Yeah. And he's going singing real high.
Yeah, he goes in. He's going in, and then all of a sudden the crowd start laughing.
Yep.
And I don't know why. The crowd is busting up laughing, and I'm like, "Oh, you guys are jerks," making
Yeah.
him feel like really insecure. And then the camera pans out, and you see freaking
Buzz.
Buzz.
With the 2 little things like lighting up his ears
yeah,
and then playing the drums on him. Yeah.
and just completely making a fool and embarrassing him.
Is he
Even-
wrong for doing what he did?
Buzz?
No.
Oh,
Kevin.
Kevin?
When
Kevin.
Kevin pushes him, I don't know.
I don't know, because Kevin has they somehow set this kid up to
Fail for everything.
and that's the thing is I don't understand. Like he fails at everything, but at the end of everything, he like also is like this most genius kid.
Yeah.
So like he can't like do basic social interaction or conflict resolution with anybody, but when it comes to like setting up these ornate traps and almost killing people, then he's like, well, actually, you have to take the velocity of
He's an introvert, man. He's
Leave him alone.
his inner thoughts. Him and his inner thoughts are always conversing.
Yeah.
He pushes him over, and a whole domino effect happens. They all fall. Of course, he's the only one standing. And then I laughed so hard when that fake tree smacked the piano.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I died laughing when that happened.
Yeah.
And it was just a good way to get this started because the first film, he spills the milk all over the pizzas and whatever.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
a
the
whole
passports
thing
or something like
happens.
that.
Oh, yeah,
Spills
yeah.
them all over the passports.
And of course, the whole family's looking at him like
They're like, "Come on,
absolutely
dude."
pissed.
Yeah. Freaking Uncle Frank is all, look what you did, you little jerk.
Like what? Go get your own house, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, make your own money.
Yeah. Seriously.
Not when the dad's got the money bags. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's the same scene where they get home from that altercation and the whole family is looking at Buzz and Kevin. Same like the first one. And of course Buzz has got this whole like,
He's all, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I must be acquitted from this crime. It is a crime I did not commit. It was out of passion or like something ridiculous. And they're like, okay, yeah, he said he's sorry.
and then of course everyone's like, okay, it's your turn, Kevin. Can you top his apology? And straight up, what does he say? He says like,
I'm
Yeah.
not apologizing.
y'all
Yeah.
are stupid.
Yeah.
I don't even want to be a part of this family anymore.
Yep.
Leave without me.
Yeah.
And he gets his wish.
Yep.
But I thought it was good. It was a funny way to start. I definitely didn't expect Kevin doing a solo.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
that's what I got.
My first favorite scene is whenever Kevin gets to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And do you got one before that?
No, mine's a little bit after that, actually.
Okay. So Kevin getting to the hotel, at this point he's already been lost. He finds out he's in New York. And he has this whole like montage, which also was a bro moment seeing the Twin Towers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
It's kind of crazy.
so crazy.
Seeing that
for-
and then being like, holy cow, this is how long ago that was filmed.
Mm-hmm.
But him getting in the hotel and like, again, like somehow being this genius where he like uses this toy. First of all, I always wanted that talk boy thing.
That little like voice
little
Dude, that's
recorder
so
thing?
cool.
I thought the toy was so sick whenever I first watched this movie. So him using that thing to like record a script basically of him saying like, hello, this is Peter McAllister. I would like to reserve a room with a big TV and all this stuff and everything. Sure, credit card, here you go. And like gives the credit card numbers and everything. And I had just written down, Kevin's a kid genius and a manipulator.
for sure.
He really is a manipulator.
He goes in that hotel and he's like, well, of course I try to be getting in a hotel room by me as a kid, a 10-year-old kid, of course.
Yeah.
And he's like, finessing his way
He's
to get.
Gaslighter.
Yep.
101, dude.
Seriously.
Learn how to gaslight. You want to learn how to gaslight? Just
Yeah.
watch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I love this whole like, it's hard to call it a scene because there's so much stuff that happens whenever he actually gets to the hotel. But whenever he like, finesses his way in there and then gets shown to the room and is like, dude, I got all these snacks. I got this big bed. I got this huge TV. Like, this is crazy. And as a kid, I was just like, that would be so sick to like have my own room and have all these snacks and everything and not have to worry about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like whenever he goes to the pool, and like that indoor pool area, I always wanted to swim in like an indoor pool like that as a kid.
It's like all heated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like all these people are like just sitting in the jacuzzi, and he's like, "You guys wouldn't mind if I practice my cannonballs real quick?" And then, jumping
Yeah.
around in the pool and everything, and the callback of him watching Angels with Filthier Souls. It's like
Mhm.
the sequel to the original one in Home Alone, and that whole sequence is funny. That's where we actually get "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal," because
Yep.
in the first one, he says, "What does he say?"
You
He
said
says,
"Merry Christmas, you filthy animal."
not in the first one.
I thought
He
he
said
did.
no. he says, "Keep the change, you filthy animal."
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
And then, because in this one he says, "Merry Christmas, you filthy animals, and have a happy New Year."
Yeah, he says, "And a happy New Year too." And he goes, "Pow!"
Yeah,
on the
okay.
last one. Yeah.
Oh.
That whole scene is hilarious. Also, Kevin has a butler serving him ice cream as he's watching this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as a kid, I was like, "That would be so sick." And he's like, "Oh, make it 3 scoops. I'm not driving anywhere this
Yeah.
time." Like, and he's like, just piling on this big old sundae, and love that. And then the whole scene where Tim Curry's the manager of the hotel is
He's
trying
snooping.
to like, yeah, he's trying to snoop
This is
around.
my favorite.
'cause
This
he-
is my favorite. Next favorite scene.
Okay, whenever he's like gets into the room to see like what
Well, he's a
exactly is
freak.
going on.
No, yeah, and that's what I wanted to talk about too. Was
Yeah, bring it up.
he's so like you said, Tim Curry. He is the I want to say the concierge manager.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that's what I want to say he is, and he automatically suspects Kevin is up to something, which he is, of course.
Yeah.
And so he uses the master key to get into his suite. And one, that's weird already, because you got to knock, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, that's breaking the law.
It's pretty
Uh,
sketch city.
And I'm like, dude. And so Kevin finds out that he's coming in. He's like, oh, shoot, what do I do? And he's so smart, because he has, like, I think it's a floaty
It's
that
the little inflatable clown. Thing.
clown, and he blows it up. And again, we
He's
see
got lungs of steel.
yeah.
To blow it up that
to blow it up that quickly, put it in the shower, set the whole thing up. The whole like thing, like he sets that up within the matter of like seconds, bro. He's got to be Superman.
Gotta be. Or he just had to have been ready,
He
right?
was prepped.
Yeah.
He knew he was coming in.
That's then like is he on the same level as like God? Then to be like to be like I'm gonna set this up just in case this guy comes into my house, and I know he will at one point. I just whenever he does, I just need to be able to set it up.
He's omnipresent.
Yeah, like he just
Like
knows
he's
all. Like, yeah,
Boy genius.
And so he does like I said he does the whole thing for it. And what is smart is previous we see he recorded a recording of Uncle Frank in the shower.
Yeah.
And he's singing. And
What does
he's
he
supposed
say?
I
to-
love the whole. Get out of here, you little pervert! I'm gonna slap you silly. Like,
I feel like that's something I would say to my kids or something.
yeah,
What does he say, dude? Like, if you go in there, you're gonna be ashamed that you're a man, or
No,
yeah,
ashamed that you never became a man.
you
Something
never
like-
became a real man.
oh,
or
because
something
he's
like that.
hung or something.
Yeah, apparently.
The dad straight up said, "Go in there, but don't look at anything."
yeah, yeah.
I want to see if I can find what he said now. I don't know, who cares? But he finally uses the recording to scare off Tim Curry. And it's so funny because it's the next morning is what made it my favorite scene. It was the interaction that Tim Curry and Kevin had, and the guy, he was like extra nice and like, oh, like I hope your dad wasn't mad. Well, my dad was pretty mad. I don't think you'll be ever seeing him again.
Yeah.
Like
He's
if
all-
you ever saw someone, or if you knew that someone saw you naked, do you think you ever want them to see you again?
Yeah.
Like, no. And it's so funny.
Yeah. You got my next favorite scene I think is right after that with the whole limo pizza like toy store scene.
I have my favorite scene is in the toy store.
Okay. You got
Go ahead.
before
I just
that?
put the whole Toy Store in general, just because it's beautifully like set up,
Yeah.
and I loved him walking through and seeing all the toys and all that stuff.
Yeah, so the whole limo pizza thing, I wanted that as a kid so bad.
I did too.
Like when I saw that, and he's just like, it seems like something straight out of like a dream sequence where like Rob Schneider is holding a pizza and he's like, "Your cheese pizza, sir," and he opens it up to like all steaming and looks like there's tons of cheese on it, and he's like, "Oh, your limo awaits too," and white limo. The Grinch is playing on there. He's able to talk to the driver and is like,
Dude,
any toy stores around
That's
here?"
how you know it's bougie, when you got a phone in the back of the car to talk to your driver.
Yeah. And
That's how you know it's bougie.
Yeah, and he's just sitting there like pouring Coca-Cola into like a flute and like drinking Coca-Cola out of like a little champagne flute, eating pizza, getting drove around in a limo in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And then gets brought to Duncan's toy store, which I wanted to go to this toy store
Dude.
as a kid so bad.
Who wouldn't want to go to a
Like
toy store like this?
This toy store was amazing,
Mhm.
beautiful.
It's like everything you could ever want as a kid.
Yeah, it was awesome looking, and to find out that this was a prop blew my mind.
Yeah. Wait, the actual.
The toy store is a fictional place.
Is it really?
Yes, they created it.
They built the building?
Yes, they built the whole set.
Oh, the budget's gotta be crazy.
Yeah, the
Don't
budget's
say
empty.
it yet.
Yeah,
But that's crazy.
that whole Toy Store is fake.
That's insane.
Which-
I figured
which-
that they just like renovate or like rent a building.
That's what they probably did. They
Well,
probably,
they
rented
probably
a
like
building.
rented a building, but they built everything that's in there is fake.
Wow.
It is a set
That's
that was
crazy.
created. It was
That's
not
how you
like
can get it
was-
so intricate.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, and that's one of the things that like kind of shot me in the heart a little bit. Was like, I always thought this was a real place. Like,
You could visit it.
yeah, like I could like go and be like, dude, I'm in Duncan's toy store. This is crazy, but no.
He said, but no.
Yeah,
Shattered your childhood, man.
yeah, and the whole toy store
The
scene
whole-
is great too.
Yeah,
That's
I-
like one of the few moments where there's actually like some like humanity.
Yeah, and
I
that's
think-
what I wanted to talk about.
Part of
Because I know this was your favorite scene, but I kind of teared up at the turtle dove scene.
Okay, yeah.
Low-key, I was a little confused. Because for some reason, the way that they were talking about Duncan, I thought he had died.
Oh, okay.
They were talking in
In
third person.
the third person the whole time.
Right, so I was like, okay, Duncan's dead.
Okay.
Like, and he's just like this. He was just like
well,
philanthropic
Kevin didn't know that
man.
was Duncan.
Right. He was this like extremely generous man who gave to the community and just made the world a better place. I thought,
Yeah.
oh, and this like is a place that he built and passed down and he died or something.
Mm.
And he was talking to him, and that whole scene, it's that one little bit of heart that I really enjoyed, where he's
Yeah.
like, he gives him, he tells them like what they're doing about, they donate all
Yeah.
the money. They
Yeah, it's
get
like on
to-
Christmas Eve, like all the money that's made in the store today will all get donated to the local children's hospital.
Right. So Kevin takes out, what is it, like a 50?
It's like a $20 bill.
Oh, 20?
And he's like, he buys stuff, he buys toys for himself, and then is like, these kids would probably use it more than
Mhm.
I do. So, I want you to give this to them.
Right. And Duncan, he looks over at the tree and he goes, you could pick any one of these because you've donated or whatever. And
Yeah.
And he goes, I suggest you take the turtle doves. And he explains to him what a turtle dove is. There's 2 of them, and you give one to your friend. And it's kind of like a friendship bracelet
Kinda,
where you're
yeah.
like,
I have
oh, I
the
have
coat.
one half and you have the other half.
Yeah.
And, it gets set up for later on in the film. But it pans over to, it's Duncan, and then it pans over to, like, the portrait of Duncan, and I was like, and then he's gone.
Yeah.
I was like, was that a spirit? Because the first
This is
one,
Polar Express.
no, the first film, didn't it kind of feel like a little like
Paranormal.
paranormal, kind of? Because he made a wish, and the wish came true, like, randomly. It was a little too coincidental.
In the first one?
Yeah, he makes a wish like, oh, I wish I didn't have a family anymore. I wish they were all
Oh,
gone.
and then they're gone.
And then they're all gone in the
Okay.
morning.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little too coincidental. And then,
Yeah,
of
so
course,
I'm
he
saying
doesn't say
maybe.
wish.
What if he's like another being? What if Kevin is another being?
Oh, like-
what if
Bro,
he-
this is too much. No, stop.
He
Stop.
just doesn't know.
Yeah.
Like, he's a deity or something.
Yeah, dude, he's Atreus, man. like he just doesn't know he's a god.
He's a demigod.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna start having some inner conflict.
Yeah.
Get sick. But I straight up thought that Duncan was like a spirit that he was talking to. So I was like,
Is this the ghost of Christmas
I
past?
was like, what is this? What the heck is going on here?
Yeah.
But no, Duncan's alive.
Yeah.
So my mind was blown there.
Nice. This is also where we find out the whole plot behind the Sticky Bandits.
Right.
And them creating this plan to be like, oh well, what's one place that you're gonna hit Christmas Eve to make a ton of money? A toy store, right? Like there's gonna be tons of toys. They're gonna have a ton of cash. We'll hit a cash for hit them for everything that they got. We'll be rich. We'll get a couple fake passports and fly somewhere and get out of here or whatever, right? Well, that's when we come to find out that all the money being made at the store is going to be donated, and that the bandits are going to steal it from them.
Yeah, they're like extra jerks.
Yeah, and it's like that was a big bro moment for me in that whole scene, was that finding out that everything that is made is going to get donated to charity, and they're like, no, we're taking it.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of money, man.
Yeah,
There's a whole chest full.
yeah,
I know the fact that they just kind of left it out too. I was
yeah.
like,
That's irresponsible.
bruh, Duncan can do better.
Yeah, yeah, seriously.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but I love that whole scene as well.
me too. My next one is just getting the traps ready.
Same.
So it's pretty.
I put the whole booby trap sequence in when they're going through it and everything.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. That's what I've got. I liked seeing him get all ready. He went to his old. I think it was
It was his uncle's house.
his
That was
uncle's.
being renovated.
It's a freaking like ghost house, dude.
Yeah.
It's like there's got holes everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know the type of deal he got in that place to renovate it, but he had to have gotten that for a steal.
Tell me, is it like a
I would live in it
4-story
as a
house?
ghost. Yeah, it had to have been.
It's freaking like a tall house.
It was
dude.
huge. It had like a basement, a landing floor, a second floor, and then like an attic or something as well.
The
Like,
attic was huge.
yeah,
It was all
The attic
huge.
was. Well, I don't know what.
Marv falls through like 3 floors.
Yeah, when
like-
they get it with the paint with the freaking thing, yeah, they fall heck of far.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
So, the dad's got to be setting up the family.
something. Dude.
They know
They got-
something.
He's the crime boss, bro.
Seriously.
He is.
Because in New York City to have a house like that, millions at least,
Gotta be.
and renovating it at that too is crazy.
Yeah, and then for them to not be to be away, and they were like in France, I
Right.
think is what they said. He's away. They're
Mhm.
not.
They're running. They're running. They gotta be running. What do they do in Chicago?
I don't know.
What's-
Racketeering.
What's something famous in Chicago? Man, they're laundering their money through pizza.
Through pizza.
Something. But the whole booby trap setup scene is great. Tell me why I always wanted to climb up that trash chute thing.
Yeah.
Dude, as a
Dude,
kid?
tell me why that looked almost like a.
It looked like a
pee-pee.
slide. A
It
pee-pee.
kind of looked a little phallic.
What?
Coming out of there. He pointed it. I was like, yeah, kind of.
No, I always wanted to like climb up that thing because I thought it looked fun. And then
I saw it and I said, "Oh, that's a pee-pee."
The physics of it though, kind of is like.
and that's literally when I was a kid. I was like, dude, that looks so fun. He climbed up that thing. That was sick.
But like,
And then I watched it again, and I was like, that's at a vertical angle. How did he climb up that thing?
he's
He
like
has to be
got the-
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider Monkey going up it.
That's what I'm saying. Is Kevin another being, dude?
He just
Is he ethereal?
floated
Like, can he straight up like float through the things and like phase through walls and stuff?
dude. I would believe you.
Like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I like this. I like seeing the different things of how they're gonna use them, how they're gonna fall into place when the sticky pandas get there. Like
yeah.
we get to see the kerosene, and we get to see him like getting the paint with the sticky or the slippery stuff on the
Yeah.
Bro,
on the
I just want to
ladder.
know, how does he know this stuff?
Mastermind. He's got that blueprint. He laid it
He also
all
watches
out.
TV, cartoons.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
puts the freaking gasoline in the toilet.
Yeah,
He knows so
He-
much.
What else does he do? He gets the rope and covers it with what's that?
Kerosene.
he covers it.
Kerosene.
Yeah,
It's like he's ready to kill these guys.
yeah. Seriously,
He's ready.
I also love whenever he leaves the home to go back to Duncan's toy store and catches them in the act, like taking pictures.
Yeah.
And I was dying laughing. Whenever I think he breaks the window and they start chasing him or something like that, and he like takes another picture of him, and Marv straight up poses for the
He
picture.
straight up said, "Smile,"
yeah,
and a smile.
I was dying laughing. Like he says something to the effect of like "smile,"
And
and
he
then
goes-
Harry's trying to get up, and Marv is all cheeses real
Stupid.
quick. I was dying at that. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, he's
Also, I had written down. Marv should be dead. Homie got hit with bricks, stapled his nuts, got electrocuted, got hit with a bag of concrete, fell down 3 flights of stairs, like
dude, 100-pound bag straight
Yeah.
on his head,
straight on the
Dude,
top of his dome.
going
Dude,
full velocity
Yeah,
down.
dude.
How is he alive?
Dude, your neck guts go.
Yeah,
like
dude,
your
he's
spine's
dead,
coming
bro.
out your
Yeah,
booty
butt,
hole.
bro. You're pooping out your vertebrae, dude.
Dude, something's wrong with your neck.
Dude, just from the brick scene. Tell me you didn't cringe at the brick scene alone.
Oh yeah.
Like when he threw the brick right at his forehead, I was like, oh, dude.
Yeah.
Not one time, but 4 times he
Yeah.
does it, dude. It's, oh man, I'd be done.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, bro, you take it on your own. I gotta go to the doctor.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Also, I was dying laughing too whenever they do the paint can thing, right? Again.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I do
he,
like this.
Yeah, and he like get on the side of the things, he throws it, and he's all, wait. Oh, Marvin got me right in the schnauzer. Like, and he's like, trying to act. He's all, oh, here I'll go. Oh, ow. Like it's.
Ratty the kisser.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Like for them, and they're thinking they're hilarious too. They're all the whole time
go-
being like, it's so funny. And then he throws this. I don't even know what that thing
I
is.
don't know. It's like a pipe.
Yeah.
like a lead pipe, dude.
He throws that thing, and then it just yeets them to the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, super funny. I I was dying laughing too whenever they finally get to the top of the thing and he climbs the rope
Downwards.
down.
Yeah.
And whenever Marv is back up there and he has all those bricks.
Dude, no, what
He
did
starts
he
fucking
say?
dying
What
laughing.
is he-
He
a
goes,
brick slinger?
No, he goes, suck brick, kid. And starts throwing
Dude, he
bricks.
misses so hard too.
I started dying when he said that.
I think it's so funny that
was
he
so
said
funny.
suck brick. Bro,
I was dying laughing at that.
I'm going to tell that to someone. They
Suck brick, kid. It was so funny.
Oh man, he really tries to kill him here too, because they're like 2
Dude.
flights up, and he burns that rope.
Yeah.
And dude,
Dude, even Kevin, before he even they throw the brick, he goes, I think it's a good day for a neck injury.
Yeah, something like that.
dude, the way that as
The
high as they
height-
fell,
Yeah.
You're dead.
they're
You're
at
not-
least knocked out,
At least,
right?
no, a couple broken ribs for sure.
Your legs are going into your pelvis.
Dude, no,
No,
they
and-
land on their backs, don't
They
they?
land in the
Yeah.
back. This is how they're gonna get up. They're because you know
Yeah.
they get their air knocked out.
Back is
Have
broken.
you ever had that happen,
Once.
Yeah.
bro?
Once, and it's terrifying because you're like,
Can't breathe.
Dude, I fell down. We were
So
playing.
you're just
we were
going,
playing.
can't
We were
breathe.
playing knockout at church, and I shot the ball, and I went to step, and then I stepped on the ball, and then I landed on my back. And all I hear is,
Yeah, these guys got. Look, if Kevin is a deity, these sticky bandits, they gotta be some sort of like.
they're going through some personal hell.
They gotta be like a
They're-
demon or something.
They're
or
paying
like,
for they're atoning for their sins.
but they have to be superhuman though.
Something.
With how much that they survive.
Is this like the same thing as like the end of The Lighthouse where like Robert Pattinson has to keep getting eaten by the
Oh,
seagulls?
like,
this is their version of hell.
like just
so they
over
just have
and
to
over?
keep going through this over and over and over again, but they can't die.
That would be trash. That makes
it's
a
a
lot
different
of
city each time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then then he leads them to like the park.
Yep.
And then-
He calls.
Bro,
first.
where does he? Where? Okay, let's talk about the park. I gotta talk about one of the situations in the park.
What, when he gets the fireworks?
Where the heck did he get the fireworks
Well,
from?
They show a scene of him going into like a Chinese fireworks shop, and he has like Roman candles. That
Oh,
he
he
like, puts in his
buys them.
backpack.
My question is, was his plan to slip?
I don't think so.
I think it was.
You think so?
Yeah,
Nah,
because
there's no way you're gonna be willing.
He calls the police and says, "There's gonna be a active shooter at the park. Look for fireworks." And he slips, and they take him to the park. So he had to have like, why would they take him to the park? He had to have known, right,
Something.
that they were gonna take him to the
You're
park.
hurting
why
my brain.
He had to have. That's why I'm saying. Is Kevin actually a kid genius?
I don't know, because when he slips, at first I was like, "Holy crap, he actually is not a deity like we're thinking."
Yeah. Well, they do the same situation in the first movie too, right? Where he like leads him to that house, and they like, oh no, let's catch him off guard, and they they hang him on the hook,
Right.
and they're like, I'm gonna bite off his fingers, like in
Oh,
the first
yeah,
one,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And then homeboy comes in and saves the day with the shovel.
Right.
But this time, it's the lady with the pigeons.
Yeah, the old pigeon lady.
Yeah.
I just figured that it would be his plan
I don't know.
to slip and them take it. Otherwise, it's like, what did they have a reason to take him to the park? I didn't catch that. Or did they
Maybe
just
that's
be like,
the only
think
place where
so.
they know that it's dark and it's. I mean, it's Central Park, so it's huge.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, and you saw it. He was wherever he was running, on Christmas Eve before all that. He
it was pretty rough.
it was pretty rough.
Yeah. I don't know. I was curious, but tell me, I was actually kind of blown away. He actually had a gun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I figured that he didn't. I thought he was just like lying the whole time.
Yeah.
But he pulls that thing out, and immediately I'm like, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
He really has one.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
He pulled out the 9, dude.
Yeah, it was all freaking
dripping.
It was all lubed up though.
Yeah. The thing was nasty
It
looking.
was so nasty, dude.
Yeah. So it's all that all happens, and then the police eventually come and take the bandits away, and Marv does the same thing where he's like, what is he? He says something like,
And we just broke out of prison 2 weeks ago. Or
yeah,
some
he's
stupid
like,
crap
we're the sticky bandits now. We used to be the wet bandits, but we broke out of prison, and now we have a new whole name change and everything. And he's like, shut up.
Stupid.
But then, the whole reunification scene happens
With the mom.
where
Man.
I immediately know where he's at.
yeah, the mom gets Kevin back
An
from
epiphany
CPS.
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said where the mom gets Kevin back from CPS
Oh, yeah.
in front
That's how it
of
should
the
have
front of the
ended.
Rockefeller Center. And they share this moment between the Christmas tree and them, and then go back to the hotel, and everyone's already there, and they have this beautiful Christmas morning with all the presents donated by Mr. Duncan, and yeah. And then it ends where he, sees the pigeon lady is still down there,
Yeah.
not having anybody to hang out with on Christmas. He gives her the turtle dove and tells her what it means, and they hug.
Oh, Kevin.
My immediate thought, tell me if this is bad, was whenever they hugged, I
She
immediately
smelled
wanted
like
to. I was
doo-doo.
like, does she smell, bro? Does she stink?
I thought he was gonna say. I thought he was gonna give her like.
smell like doo doo.
Oh, doo-doo. Oh, that's doo-doo.
I hate you. I
forgot that video.
I was thinking that same thing because he savages her earlier. He said, "Hey,
He's
if you want friends, you gotta get some clothes without poop on it." Bro. So I was just like, "Oh, he's hugging her."
Yeah.
What if he's like? What if he's like? "You need to get some new clothes, lady.
Yeah.
You stink."
Yeah. Yeah, and he would be the guy to hook him up too, right? Like his
Yeah, he
dad's
had
got
all
all
the
the money
money.
in the world, and he could just be like, "Hey, let me hook you
Let
up.
me buy you with the
get
hot chocolate.
Yeah, let me get you new clothes. Let's get you set up somewhere."
Yeah, he spends
He's just like,
$900.
"Here's some turtle doves." Like I'd be like, "Hey,
Not
let me
even-
introduce you to my dad. We're gonna get you set up."
Yeah, he straight up was like, "All right, I'm gonna spend $900 on me."
And he said, "I'll never forget you." And then
Turtle
he
doves.
gets back on the plane to Chicago and says, "Who was that pigeon lady? I don't remember her at all."
Turtle dove.
She's straight up like
Yeah.
trying to gnaw on it 'cause she's so hungry. She's like, "I'm so hungry." Like, I mean, damn.
All he gave me was these turtle doves.
He didn't even help her at all.
Yeah,
Tell me Kevin's not a demon.
he is,
He
bro.
was-
He's on demon time.
He's a demon
He
dog.
demon.
He's listening to young boy, NBA young boy. Just,
Just walking around. Going, they call me young boy. Yeah, for real. But then
Oh,
the
man.
movie ends where Kevin gets caught for how much he spent on room service. and
$9.67, bro.
That's the end of Home
Egregious.
Alone 2.
Yep, that's it.
So that's it for the favorite scenes. Have we gone over all of them?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's get into some best quotes then.
bro. The best one that we already all said and we laughed at it was "suck brick kid."
Yeah.
Dude.
suck
If you
brick,
don't,
kid.
if you don't think that's, I'm gonna use that now. Like, bro, you suck brick.
I died laughing when he was watching the movie. And he goes through all that thing, and she's like, "Oh, don't you believe me? Don't you believe me, honey?" And he goes, "All right, I believe you, but my Tommy gun don't." And he pulls it out. I was like, "What?" I died laughing when that happened,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I have down obviously "Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal," and then lastly, whenever Cedric the bellman brings him up to the hotel and he says, "You know the TV works, right?" Then Kevin says, "I'm 10 years old. TV's my life."
True.
Yeah.
True. My last one is he's going through the sketchy part of New York, and he's got those like ladies on the corner trying to. Let me read you a bedtime
Yeah,
story.
those are what TikTok calls accountants.
Oh, they call them accountants. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Why is the accountant?
Yeah.
Well, he's going through and he's like terrified. So he gets a taxi and he says, he gets in and he goes, "Boy, it's scary out there."
He goes, "Not much better in here."
Tell me. When he did that, dude, his eyes got like a blind eye. I died laughing so hard, dude. I don't think it was supposed to be funny either.
No, it's like supposed to be scary.
Which it made it more funny. I
Yeah.
died.
It was super
It
funny.
was so good.
My next one is from Uncle Frank, and it's just simple. And it's in the shower, and after he yells at him, "I'm gonna slap you silly," he goes, "Ooh, you're cooking, Frankie," and the way he did it was just so funny.
Oh man.
Yeah. Any other best quotes?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, let's get into some bro moments then. I obviously have the dad mix up.
Yeah.
And then I gotta say too, the guy that he mixes up for his dad, he's fresh. Why
Bro.
he got like the fresh cut with the mullet on.
I hate it.
You hated it? That's like peak like
No, because
90s
it's a
dad.
flat top.
Yeah, it's like peak 90s
Oh,
dad.
gosh.
Like it's got like this like flat top mullet, this camel overcoat with the scarf,
Mhm.
the mustache is popping, and what is he doing? Like he's just like randomly getting something on the side of the
I think he's
airport
getting
and
a
then
coffee.
just starts running.
Run in, in.
But obviously that whole mix up is a Brum moment.
Yeah,
But-
running into the lady and getting his ticket mixed up too is crazy.
Yeah. Also, how frustrating is it that he's like, "Wait, I want to stand right here and put my batteries in while everyone else is running."
I hated that, dude.
Dude. Oh man.
If I was the mom and I saw that, I'd be like,
Yeah,
Like, just
yeah,
like-
dude.
I'd hold on to you,
Well,
bro.
okay.
You're-
Yeah.
It's the mom's fault though,
Yeah.
because she went in. She could have waited.
No,
Like,
it's the dad's fault because the dad said, "No, honey, everything's okay. We counted. We did this. Man, forget you, Peter McAllister. You forgot your own kid and went to New York."
He was too busy thinking about the bag.
He was
He
chasing the
was.
bag.
Yeah.
She said, "I'm not missing this flight,
Yeah.
even though it was free."
Yeah.
So,
He was.
I've got Mom and Dad in First Class. LMAO, dude's rich. Oh! He was right when he gets to New York. There's this guy like a Santa in stilts.
Oh
And
yeah.
he looks like a deformed Santa, bro. I was like, what is this guy
That's
doing?
a Santa from my nightmares, dude.
Yeah, I said, bro, what the heck?
Yeah. I obviously had Kevin bumping into the Wet Bandits in New York.
Yeah.
Bro, what about Donald Trump?
Yeah, I was gonna say that next. Seeing Donald Trump
Random.
Dude,
in
Donald
the Plaza
Trump.
Hotel.
I thought he had more of a role. I thought it was going to be like his hotel or something like that.
Imagine if it was Trump
No.
Hotel.
No. So I guess he's just standing there, and he says, "Where's the lobby?" And he goes, "Down the hall and to the left."
Right.
Yeah.
Rewinding it back a little bit, whenever he gets to New York, Kevin McAllister is on top of a building, and it's like a helicopter shot.
It's
It's
Twin
the
Towers.
Twin Towers.
He's on the Twin Towers?
He's on top of the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
Okay, but like in real life, nobody was up there.
No one is up
I was
there.
like, how the frick did he
He's
get
up
up
How'd you
there?
get up there?
Supervision.
None at all. I was like, how did you get on the roof all by yourself?
I'm telling you, his name's got some weight, dude. They're like, "Oh, that's Peter McAllister's kid. Get him up there, dude.
Get him
I
up there
don't-
now.
I don't want
Get him
any
what he
beef.
wants. I don't want
any
beef.
beef."
Yeah, I don't know. I saw that and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I also had down seeing that the credit card got reported as stolen.
Yeah.
Which is kind of smart.
Yeah.
I put Rob Schneider.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
not expecting Rob Schneider to be
him
in this.
going.
Always. What? He brings them a $900 bill and wants a tip
Yeah.
for bringing the bill?
Yeah.
Is that like... Tell
Have
me-
you ever
Yeah.
tipped anybody in a hotel?
I've never stayed at a place nice enough where people need a tip at the hotel.
I
I've
have-
only tipped once,
I have...
and that's when I stayed on by myself.
someone gave me money for the tip and I've given it. But
Okay.
I've never personally stayed in a hotel that was nice enough to...
I
I was
did.
always like, all right, I'm lugging my own stuff.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
going up there myself.
I gave a $30 tip.
Yeah, but would you give a tip for a man who comes up and gives you a bill and then he goes,
Now you're going to go.
I'd be like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
No.
I just close the door.
Also, isn't it a broma whenever he says, "Oh, you're looking for your tip, huh?" And he says, "Oh, I still have a piece of your tip right here."
Yeah,
And he goes, "Oh, okay. You don't want money then? All right." I was like, "Oh, dude, you're a jerk."
That's a rich flex.
Yeah.
And they were all 50s, bro.
Yeah.
He's balling.
Yeah. My last one is when Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern are at that ice rink, and those pigeons are standing on the ice rink next to Joe Pesci, and he's reading the newspaper, and they start getting close to him, and he starts going, he starts like smacking these pigeons. I was dying laughing at that too.
Bro, pigeons are fake.
They're government experiment.
Government.
I
They're
think they-
government officials. That's what they
Okay.
are.
Birds are fake.
I put whenever freaking Marv and Harry ripped the ticket back to Miami,
Oh,
I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
no, that's bad.
yeah.
Oh, and
Oh,
then
what about whenever he straight up shows his hand? And
Dude,
he's
it still has
he's
the
got
M.
the M, yeah.
The M from McAllister.
I do too.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Dear true. What about when Kevin freaking grabs that girl's butt?
Oh, yeah.
When he was like being arrested kind of by
Yeah.
the perps.
Yeah.
And she straight up turns around and socks him in the face and he
Yeah.
gets out of there. It's pretty good. It's a Wonderful Life in Spanish.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
the
I
kids
thought that
know
was-
Spanish.
That was pretty funny.
And then the hotel man getting slapped.
That was deserved.
That was deserved.
That was very well deserved. I'm glad he got smacked.
Mm-hmm. And he goes, he's like quivering.
He was like quivering like he was about to cry, bro. He's like, he got disrespected, bro. That's the ultimate sign of disrespect.
Yeah.
And
Bro, no, let's talk about disrespect when he's on the way to New York and he talks to the guy and he starts talking in French on the airplane.
oh, and
And
he puts the
on his
headphones
headphones
on.
on.
Yeah.
That's
He
the ultimate
disrespects
sign
him.
of disrespect.
He said,
F
"I don't
you."
want to hear you anymore, dude. Put these things on." Yeah.
That was pretty savage.
Yeah.
Any other bro moments?
That's it for me.
No, that's it for me.
All right, let's get into some facts.
But so let me hit you with the budget. The budget for this movie was $28 million. Opening weekend, it made $31.1 million.
Jeez.
For the U.S. and Canada, it made $173.5 million, and gross worldwide made $358.9 million.
300.
Oh my gosh,
That's
man.
insane.
Now, what did the first one make?
Let's check. real
Because I would love to see how much like profit both of these movies have made.
Yeah, because if
combined.
this was 28,
if the budget alone for that movie was 28 million, the budget for the first one had to have been even lower, and the return had to have been even bigger.
even bigger. Yeah, I know that this one was significantly more difficult to shoot.
Yeah.
Because
So
of
the budget
airports.
for Home Alone, 'cause I just opened it up, was $18 million. So $10 million more for the second one.
Okay.
Worldwide, it made $476.6 million.
400.
Jesus.
Almost half $500,000.
$500 million.
$500 million. Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah.
Dude.
And then the second one,
The second made only 300 and something.
but still, this is a cash machine.
cash machine.
So
dude.
You're
add that
printing money.
They literally said Control C, Control V.
Yeah.
Give me 300 million.
Yeah, dude,
Like,
seriously.
Add it up real
Holy-
quick. 3, 5.
Well, that's crazy.
Jeez,
Macaulay
man.
Culkin was paid $4.5 million to star in this movie.
Yeah.
It was the biggest salary ever for an 11-year-old at the time.
Yeah. I saw that.
$4.5 million as an 11-year-old.
That's insane.
You're set
Yeah.
for the rest of your life.
Never have to do anything.
That's the dream.
That's crazy.
In total, both movies made $835.6 million.
Jeez, man.
That is.
That's
And
why there's-
that's 3 years apart.
Yeah.
Or 2 years apart.
Jeez.
They're swimming.
People could not get enough of Home Alone.
No, guess not.
They're swimming.
Yeah. I was reading actually on after a scene with Macaulay Culkin and Joe Pesci, I guess off screen Macaulay Culkin had asked Joe Pesci why he never smiled. And Pesci told him to shut up. And I guess at the time Pesci said that Macaulay Culkin was pampered a lot by a lot of people, but not by him. And I think that he likes that.
Mm.
So Pesci wouldn't play the other people's game and would treat Macaulay Culkin like a little brat. Yeah, that was funny.
That is funny.
The movie was shot at the actual excuse me, at the actual plaza in Central Park. Sweet. The phone number that was given in the plaza was actually a working number.
Was it really? It was.
Imagine
Yeah.
calling that like.
Yeah, at the time you could call that number and get to the Plaza Hotel. It's not working anymore.
Oh, I was about to say that's pretty good advertising
Yeah,
for people
That's
to come.
free advertising.
yeah. I'd also seen that the original working title for this movie was Alone Again.
What do you think about that? Home Alone and then Alone Again.
I kind of like it more than Home Alone 2.
Yeah, because
a
he's
little-
not home alone.
He isn't home, huh?
No, he's not Home Alone.
Oh.
I like
It should've
Alone
been
Again.
on the
I do
streets.
too.
Home
Alone.
alone on the streets.
Alone Again.
Yeah,
Alone
Again.
again. I do like the again. Yeah. It makes so much more sense.
yeah,
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. That's
Yeah.
like such a mouthful.
Alone again. No, it's in New York.
yeah.
Bro. Not good. Okay, look at this. This blew my mind. Speaking of all those traps that we thought were lethal, Entertainment Weekly had a real medical doctor analyze what the actual effects of the injuries were for the wet or the sticky bandits. Listen to this. According to this physician, bricks to the face, as Marv experienced, would have caused at best brain damage and at worst death. Just from the first
Just
trap.
from the first one, dude.
4 bricks.
4 of them, you're dead for sure.
One of them, brain damage. On the 4th one, you're dead, dude.
Yeah,
So it was funny that a real physician was like, yeah, nah.
Yeah.
They would die.
Yeah.
They for sure would die.
Especially from that height and speed, I bet.
yeah.
He was pretty high.
That thing's cooking.
That thing's cooking.
Yeah, dude.
Max velocity, dude.
How
Yeah.
fast? How fast did you probably get like what? 9 or 10 miles?
Something like that. It's got to be fast.
9.8 meters per second downwards.
Yeah, dude.
Equals velocity over time.
Yeah. The only other thing that I have actually was in regards to the Talk Boy. So originally, that was a prop that was created for the movie. It was not an actual toy.
Okay.
And that kind of blew my mind as well because I was always like, man, I always wanted to like find out what that thing was. So in regards to that toy specifically, all the kids who appeared in the toy store scene were allowed to take home their favorite toy as part of their salary for being in the movie. And even though it didn't work, but was created for the movie as a prop, Macaulay Culkin decided to take home the Talk Boy from the film. The Talk Boy would eventually become a toy later on after the movie was released by Tiger Electronics, and they created a real version of it, and they would also create a girl version that was like pink and purple or something like that, and they called it the Talk Girl.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
but they actually made it into a thing after the film.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I
They
just
said,
looked it up.
"Alright,
It looks
how
pretty
can we
cool.
profit more?
There's
Yeah.
Bro, they're selling it on eBay. Guess how much?
$100.
$329.
Oh,
Yeah.
$300. Well,
The girl version, it's purple. They want $400 for it.
Jeez.
jeez.
I was also seeing the like monster goop thing that he had, like that he bought at the toy store, that like green stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was also fake. That was like created for the movie and would later go on to get made after
that
the
was
movie
probably
came out
freaking-
as well.
It's like rare. I feel like that would be like really hard to keep.
It's rare. It's
Yeah.
rare now.
It'd be hard to like keep clean or whatever the heck you got to do for that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what it is. Monster sap?
Yeah.
I think so. Probably.
I kind of looks familiar, actually, now that I get to see it like that.
Yeah. There's like specific bottles that have the Home Alone 2 like go see in theaters now, like stickers on it and everything, and those are supposed to be pretty rare.
Yeah, rare vintage 1992 Tiger Toys Monster Sap Home Alone.
How much?
$479.99.
Jeez.
Oh,
man.
that's Home Alone
That's
stands
insane.
right there.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
The last fact I have, talking about controlling, copying, and pasting, dude, I kind of am upset. It says John Candy at one point was going to do a cameo in this movie,
Yeah.
and I was
Well,
like, it would have been
John Candy.
would have
who's
been
that?
good to see him. It was the what did
The
they,
Polka
Yeah, the
King.
polka guy.
Oh,
from
okay,
the first
yeah,
one.
Yeah.
He's like, you don't know me? Remember? Polka, polka, polka?
Yeah.
And she's like, no, dude. It's like, you're very niche. I don't know anything about you. Yeah.
It would have. I mean, he was a great part of the first one,
Yeah.
but like I would have seen him in this one and been like,
Aw, come
Yeah.
on, like
another
why?
thing that they just copied. Come
Yeah.
on, bro.
Yeah.
So when I read that, I was like, really? They were gonna copy that much of it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's
But-
it for the facts for me.
Yeah, me as well.
Let's get into what didn't work.
There is a lot of cringy spots in this movie,
Okay. Let's
Um,
talk about some.
and I'm trying to. I hate how often they look at the camera.
Yeah, they do break like the fourth wall a little
Quite
bit more.
often.
Yeah.
And the first one, I remember they do it a little bit.
Yeah, but not as
But
much
not
where
as
I
much.
noticed it
Yeah.
like every time they did it on this
Right.
film.
Yeah.
Because there's one part where Kevin says something and then he just goes. and smiles.
Yes. He goes. It's when he has the movie going. And they're doing that same shoot scene. and
Yes,
everyone's
yes,
on the ground
yes.
crawling
Yeah.
away, and he goes out. He comes back and he says, "Merry Christmas, you filthy animals." And then he comes back and he's like looking, like towards the people, but it's really at the camera.
Yeah.
And he
It
goes,
says, and a happy new year.
yeah, and then runs off. But it is
That was
definitely
what- I
looking
think
at
that's the
us.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I was thinking. I don't know. It's just too much.
Yeah.
And for me, it was cringe. And another part that was cringe was like the map, the whole layout of the map. I was like, bruh.
Mm.
I cringed a lot when Joe Pesci would be like,
Yeah, it's too much.
They do that in the first one.
Yeah.
But it's done in a way where it's not like cringe.
It's
Yeah.
not. No, this was
because
like.
like this one,
This one, it
part
was like,
that
oh, they liked when I did that. Let's do it more.
Yeah, this one's like,
Yeah.
oh, I fell. Oh, I fell again.
yeah, exactly.
Like, it's like he's
Oh, I
forcing
farted.
it.
Yeah.
He's definitely forcing it.
Somebody fought it.
I farted. You just know.
I don't know. I just put that. It's like just not original.
Yes.
No,
Like-
and it wasn't. It's not.
It's a remake of the first one.
It's a remake, and
Like there's no continuation of the original story. It is just, hey, remember the first one? You loved that so much. Let's do it again, but change the setting.
Yeah, and I'm really disappointed that they like got rid of the character arcs for both Kevin, Buzz, the whole family, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like,
Buzz is just fake in general, though.
it blows my mind that they just took the character growth and just said, nah, we don't need that.
Yeah.
Let them go through the same exact thing again.
Yeah.
And then it's like kind of worse.
Yeah.
Because now we're in an area that's so much less interesting. Like New York is so cool, but I have no attachment to it at all. So he's
Yeah.
just like, he's going to see all these cool things, and he's in a random hotel. Now he's in a random family's house. It just seems so like disconnected.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm so much less interested in the area he's in.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel like less, I don't know, just
Engaged.
like it makes me feel less engaged and like more contrived.
Okay.
Because like now he's in a random house and it's got the perfect objects that he needs, and
Yeah.
like he knows exactly where
Where
everything
the heck
is.
how the heck does he get a brand new Craftsman toolbox?
I don't
like,
know.
I don't.
In that rickety house, and that's there. It's just like
Yeah.
it's too contrived for me, honestly. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't believe anything that was happening.
Yeah. I wrote down that I just prefer the first one. Like the writing here just really doesn't make me care for any of the characters the way the first one did.
No.
And why does nobody learn their lesson from the first film? They always reference that, oh, you would want to have one last year happen again, right?
Yeah.
And like, so it's only a year span that has happened this entire time. And for them to like basically like have no development, no growth throughout that entire year, and just be like, all right, we're back to square one. Frick Kevin. Like, we don't care about him. Kevin's a jerk. Like, it's like, did you guys remember what happened last year?
Learned
Like, you guys literally
nothing.
learned nothing.
Yeah.
And now you're doing it all over again, and I'm supposed to care?
No.
Like, I already had all this, stuff built up with you, and now it's all, oh, forget about it. Do it
He's
again.
back to ground zero.
Yeah.
It sucks.
They want to be Home Alone 1 so bad, but they lost all the heart.
Yeah.
All of it.
There's no character.
No, the emotional beats were paper thin.
Yeah.
Like the bird lady,
I couldn't care less
I
about
could
her, man.
not care less for her.
They
About
do
it. Like,
dog on her though. They treat her like crap.
They do, but when
But
it
I
came
can,
to
as much as I hate to say it like this, I can care less that they do.
and that's the thing. Like in the first one, when it comes to the old man, like they show you very little of him throughout the film until the end, and then you come to realize, oh, he's been scared of this guy the whole time, and he's actually just a nice guy. And he's like, hey, you're scared of me. I know you are. And there's a lot of things that people saying about me, and it's not true. And I'm alone all the time because I got in a fight with my kid, and he doesn't want to see me anymore.
yeah.
And it's like, oh man, this guy has been just alone this whole time, and
He's like
yeah,
misunderstood.
he's just misunderstood. No one ever
Yeah.
wants to talk to him, and there's obviously things going on. Whereas with this lady, it's kind of just like, she's homeless. She's got pigeons on her. Like,
Ooh.
and then whenever we get a moment of like downtime with her, she's just like, I fell in love with somebody, and they said no, and it was like, okay, but like there's nothing that makes that feel earned at all.
No.
It doesn't make that interaction feel earned at all.
No. I don't know. I cared about her so little in
Yeah.
this, and it was a shame because you come for the funny pranks and all that stuff,
Yeah.
but you stay for the heart of it.
Yeah.
And that you don't really think much about how much that old man in the film affected you,
Yeah.
but when you return to it, you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's something more here than just fun pranks and laughter. There's like a little bit of heart there that keeps you remembering the happiness of it.
Yeah.
And this one is like, bird lady.
Yeah.
Don't care. Like it's so hard. And a lot of the times too, I think the some of the pacing and timing is a little like awkward.
Yeah, this movie is bloated.
Why? There's no reason for it to be 2 hours.
No.
I don't remember. The first one was not 2 hours.
The first one, I have
Hour and a half?
Hour and a half
I would
max.
Hour
say-
20? I don't know.
But,
No,
yeah.
but like even more specifically, there are scenes too where it's like the action that's going on is just a little too long.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene where Marv is like slipping on the glue or
Uh-huh.
the slippery stuff, and he's going.
Yeah, it's like
it's just
trying to
like-
be like Three Stooges a little bit.
It's like okay, you're good. It's like too long
yeah,
to where it's like wow,
it kind of is losing its effect.
it's feeling a little awkward, and then it goes.
Yeah,
And then there's this scene too where it's like the bird lady is trying to throw the seeds onto the guys, and he's like trying to get the gun to shoot her, but he's like, it just feels so
He's going-
awkwardly long to him for him to go like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
It doesn't feel very natural. It feels very like, okay, you have to take your time here because
Yeah.
we're in a movie and you can't really shoot her. And then like even like her delivery of her line felt delayed. I was like, this it feels weird. It feels so awkward. I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on here.
Yeah. I
So
get you.
I noticed that a couple times where it really threw me off. I was like,
Yeah. I noticed immediately when the movie started, like the whole like plot device of being like, we woke up late again. It could have totally been freaking avoided, dude.
yeah.
Why?
Why did he
Doesn't-
have to pull it off? Why?
Dude, it blew my mind. I was like, he put, so he's got this whole like extension cord thing where like you can like plug like two different like
There was an
cords into
open.
like
there was
an
literally an open thing.
So like there's one on top, one on the bottom, and one on the side, right? He takes everything out to take the one off the bottom, plugs it back in, and then puts it back.
And doesn't
And
fix-
and then doesn't fix the clock. Like, why didn't you just take it from the bottom and bink, put it back? You didn't have to take it out. And then guess what? You wouldn't have been late. You wouldn't have left your kid. Like, none of that would have ever happened. But they have to do it, and it's like, make it make sense. Like, if I'm being a rational human being, and I see that I pulled everything out, and I know my clock's attached to it, I'm like, oh great, dude. Now I gotta freaking set my clock again,
yeah.
and I gotta go through the hassle of going ding 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 ding,
And
pushing the button,
hours
and
to
doing all
minutes,
that, doing all that stuff.
It's more contrived, I'm telling you. And
Yeah.
Kevin randomly stopping in the airport. I mean, come on.
Yeah, to be like, wait, guys, hold up.
My batteries. Like,
Yeah,
you can do that on the plane.
yeah,
Like it's so but he had to stop because he had to get lost, but because he had to go to New York. You know what I mean? It's just so
Yeah.
like you could see the movie. It's a movie. It's not like
yeah,
the first one actually was believable. I think
Yeah.
they really painstakingly made sure that yes, it's a crazy situation, but it somewhat is believable.
yeah,
Because he's upstairs, he couldn't hear the alarm. They're all late because they had, they counted the neighbor on accident.
yeah,
It all makes a little bit more sense than this.
yeah,
Kevin, I'm gonna stop.
yeah,
Bro, what?
yeah,
Oh man.
yeah. If that's it for what didn't work, what did work? Or do we still got more?
You got more. Do you got more?
I don't think I want to rewatch this movie.
Okay.
Um,
I
No.
had wrote down that I think the second one is somewhat rewatchable for
I'd
certain,
rather-
for certain points, but I guarantee you I will not come back to this one as much as I would the first.
Okay, I will watch the first one, but I would rather watch the third one when the kid gets chickenpox over this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point. Like, if I'm gonna watch a Kevin McAllister, a Macaulay Culkin film, I'm going to Home Alone 1. If I want to return to the Home Alone series, I'm gonna go to a brand new cast because the second one I already know is worse. So why would I return to it? There's no reason.
Okay.
No reason
no
for me at
reason.
least.
Yeah.
This is personal for
Yeah.
me. I'm,
No, and I agree with you. There's no reason to return it because it like we said, it is the same thing, but it's just, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Same thing with no heart. I mean, for real, that's the tagline for me.
Okay. Well, what did work then?
I love this movie.
There was some parts that I liked the soundtrack. to
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
soundtrack.
Yeah, they reused the Run Rudolph Run. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was parts in the movie where I heard that and I was like, hey, like it matches. It like worked
Yeah.
very well for that time.
Mm.
So the soundtrack worked for me very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say I was entertained. I
wa-
laughed quite a bit. I really enjoyed, obviously, the same as the first one. A lot of what works in the first one, of course, is going to work here because it's the same film.
Yeah.
But the traps I thought were real funny, real intricate. I loved all that stuff.
Yeah. I have to say too, great stunt work.
Oh yes,
Stunt work is great. Same as the first one. I think the stunt work is much better, and I think the first one in regards to the stunt is better because you actually get to see like the stunts take place rather than like somebody like flying through a hole and then it cutting and then doing like
They're
on the ground,
yeah.
you know. Whereas like on the first one, when Joe Pesci's character does a flip onto his back on the steps, you straight up watch the guy do that, and you're like, oh, dude, like, and you could tell like someone actually did that.
Someone
like,
had to break their back for that scene.
yeah, dude. Yeah, like, or like when Marv slides down the stairs, like you're like, oh crap, someone actually did that.
Right.
Like,
Do you think someone actually stepped on the nail?
No, I think
probably not. It was like probably a fake
foot.
foot or a rubber foot or something.
I think he had a rubber foot on
Yeah.
or something.
Also, I have to say, I love Tim Curry in this one. I think he's hilarious, and I think it's just because of how expressive Tim Curry's face is.
Yeah.
He's got a very like
Distinctive
over
face.
the top and like very distinguishable face. Thank you for saying that. I just know he has very over the top facial expressions.
Yeah. Is that his real accent though, or was
yes,
it is? Okay.
yeah. And so like when I see him being like in a sticky situation and he's like, oh, like I'm like, what? I don't know why I like this, but I do. Like you're funny, you know. And I think I just like Tim Curry because of his whole acting career is just fun. Like he's just got tons of great movies, and how are you gonna play Pennywise the clown in the original It movie and then come and do this?
Yeah, that's
You know?
crazy.
Wait, he
Like-
played Pennywise?
Yeah.
In the original,
In the
like,
original,
yeah,
3-hour. It was like a TV series they turned into a movie, right?
Something.
It was like
that,
part
I
1,
forget.
part 2, or some. Am I remembering correctly?
Yeah. And then lastly, that recorder toy is sick. Like that really,
I love you, dude.
That worked for me, man. I really wanted that.
That
thing,
worked
dude.
for you. Oh man, I would say Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. They killed
Yeah,
it. I
they
mean, that's
killed
just
it,
this like
as per usual.
these little like Dumb and Dumber characters.
They fit their role perfectly.
Yeah. And I will say it's like a continuation off the first one, and I loved them in the first one.
Yeah.
And they have that same charisma on screen. They have that same like they're like brothers who kind of hate each other. They always get into
Yeah.
mischief
I
together.
don't know. I feel like jail or prison made them stupider, dude.
Yeah,
maybe.
seriously. But one of them is always like the guy who's always thinking ahead and kind of smart. And then of course Marv is the one that's an idiot
Yeah.
and always falls into the traps. I don't know. I loved seeing them two on screen. I just like Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
So it's funny to see him like have to restrain himself and not be like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Think
not
I'm
be
funny?
Not be his character in Goodfellas.
Funny how?
Yeah.
Funny how?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into who wins the movie.
Kevin.
I think Daniel Stern.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I think he's just hilarious in this one. I think he's more funny in
You-
the second one than
you
the
like
first
him in
one.
that
I would
part?
agree that he's more funnier.
I think he's funnier in the second one than the first one.
I think I would agree with you, but I wouldn't choose him.
Yeah.
As
I don't
Marv,
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just enjoy Marv in this movie. I think he's just hilarious.
Hilarious.
Yeah. And the whole like he's like, you smell that? That's freedom. And he goes, that's fish. He's like, no, it's not fish. It's freedom. We get to do whatever we want. And he goes, it's fish.
Yeah, I'll have to say him too.
Yeah, okay.
He was the sole reason why I was laughing, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What are some themes?
Yeah.
I put family.
Don't put batteries in when you're in the airport.
Dude,
Yeah.
one thing I learned, if you're going to do a sequel, be more original.
Learn from your mistakes.
Learn from
Learn.
your mistakes.
Don't disregard character growth.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because guess what? Ruins your legacy.
seriously.
Yeah.
Imagine if these both smacked.
If they did, it'd be fire.
This is kind of weird too, because I imagine people listening right now are probably like, "What? Is it really as bad as I remember?" And maybe I don't know. I feel like
No, we're not giving it.
like I don't want to be too harsh,
We're not being too
but I
harsh
feel like a
on
lot
it.
of people are like nostalgically looking back at this and be like, "Oh, it's great."
Yeah. Well, then that's the thing.
No,
Nostalgia.
looking back into
nostalgia is looking at things through rose-tinted glasses,
Right.
and it's because you have that special thing, like that place in your heart for the film, where you kind of like look past its flaws.
I don't know.
You can't look past his flaws.
I don't.
It's too far gone.
Well, and that's the thing is like if nostalgia plays a heavy factor in a lot of things, but if you have like the ability to see past it, like I can tell you, that movie Thrashing, it's bad. That movie is bad, but it has a place in my heart where I'm like, I love it though.
Mhm.
Like because of how bad
you're
it
like,
is.
yeah, it's bad.
It is bad. I
Still love
accept
it.
that it's bad, but I still love it. It's still hilarious to me, and I will watch it no matter what.
Right.
You know, and I can tell you that it's bad.
Mm.
I think it becomes a problem when everyone is like, no, this movie is great, but you're just blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, well, I think you're kind of letting nostalgia take over in that aspect, and you're not actually like looking at it from like a critical standpoint and being like, okay, but actually let's have a conversation about this rather than just like being like, oh, but remember when?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, what are we rating this?
I'll let you guys go first.
I'm giving it a 6.
6.
I gave it a 6 too.
6. I'm gonna give this one a 5.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
Now a 5 is meaning that I liked it.
Yeah. Anything? Yeah.
I liked it.
For me, anything above a 5 is something I like.
Yeah. But
yeah. But it's just
5 is subpar.
just never gonna return to it. I'm going to Home Alone 1. You want to go to Home Alone 1? I say 8.
Yep.
This one, yeah.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, I gave the first Home Alone an 8 as well. This one just does not hit as hard as the first one. And if I am gonna rewatch anything in the Home Alone canon, it's gonna be the first one.
Yeah.
So,
There you go. That's it.
all right.
Don't kill me.
All right. Well, that's the end of the episode, you guys. So if you stuck all the way to the end, we appreciate you. Leave us a like on the YouTube videos as well as a comment. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification so that way you guys get notified when we upload. We try to upload every Wednesday at like 9:15ish on the YouTube channel. The audio platforms also, rate and review the shows there, subscribe there, follow us there so that way you get all the new episodes that come out every week. And rate and review the show there as well so that way you can let us know what you're liking or not liking about the podcast. And do that as well on the YouTube so that way we can try to make this the best show possible for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You can get in contact with us in every episode description. The episode descriptions are there on the YouTube channel as well as the podcast notes and all that stuff, our Instagrams, Letterboxd, email. Use those platforms to get in contact with us and the little community that we've built up here. But that's it. As always, we're going to reveal the next pick that we're going to be doing. That's going to be
mine.
the last week of the year.
Of the year, a bit controversial for some people. And this is something that this is a hill that I'm willing to die on. And a lot of people think this is true, and this is not true. And the movie that I'm picking is not a Christmas movie,
Oh,
and it's Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, 1988.
Okay.
I want to do this movie because a lot of people say it's a Christmas movie.
And it's just because it takes place during
And
Christmas.
I think it's,
right?
yeah, I think so. I've never seen Die Hard.
Okay. I never have either.
Me neither. It's the first for all of us.
I've seen like bits and pieces of it. But I've never fully watched through it.
I want to form my own, see if I think it's Christmas or not.
Yeah,
I will say if by that logic, that if it's only a Christmas movie because it takes place during Christmas, then so is American Psycho.
Does that take place during Christmas?
There is a part where he goes to a Christmas party.
Oh, really?
yeah.
And he straight up
definitely.
has like a reindeer head thing, like the little like headband reindeer ear things. Patrick Bateman wears those to
But
the Christmas
is that-
party.
Oh, yeah.
So if that's the case, then so is American Psycho.
Yeah, but
And that's
also
the greatest
Bruce Willis
Christmas movie.
himself said this is not a Christmas movie.
Yeah, he did. I saw that clip.
Wait, what did he say?
Bruce Willis said it's not a Christmas movie.
Oh, he actually admits that it's
Yeah,
not?
it's on he did it on a talk show.
Oh.
So it was on TV. But it also the day that we usually record is my brother's birthday. It's my brother's favorite movie. So I just wanted to show him that I love him and pick a movie that he likes too.
All right.
And he knows he hates the fact that I know that I say it's not a Christmas movie, and he believes it's a Christmas movie. So I
So
think
is
it's
First
fitting.
Blood.
Interesting. Yeah.
No,
I
I
knew
don't
you were
believe-
going to
I
bring up
don't believe
Rambo.
First Blood
I knew
is
it.
either.
If it is, then it's in the same category. I'm not watching Die Hard on Christmas. Then I'm watching First Blood. I want to watch Sylvester Stallone kill kill the sheriff department in this local town on Christmas Eve. Like,
We'll have to see. There might be more there than just during Christmas. Because isn't that kind of what Little Woman is?
yeah.
Little Woman, and it's kind of considered Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Because they kind of do the whole. Well, they do go through Christmas.
Twice.
So I wonder if maybe they do it there too. I don't know. I've never seen it. I don't even know what it's about.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis being a bad mother
This
trucker.
is what it says on IMDb. A New York police officer tries to save his estranged wife as several others are taken hostage by terrorists during a Christmas party at the Nakatomi Plaza in Los Angeles.
Christmas
Okay, during
party.
Christmas party.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If there's a Santa, it's a Christmas movie.
We'll see. I don't think it is.
We'll
but,
see.
I'm
excited.
Is it streaming anywhere?
It is.
No stream or what? I hope it's streaming, AB. Otherwise, Christmas gift is Die Hard.
It says stars. On IMDb, it just says stars. Let me check. I don't know.
Okay. It's probably cheap somewhere. Rasputin's,
Probably.
I know, has got
yeah,
Die
it just
Hard.
says stars. Amazon Prime subscription.
Okay.
So if you have Prime,
Okay. If you have a Prime subscription or a Stars subscription, check it out. If not, rent it or pick up a copy or pop it in if you already have it. I know this movie's considered a classic to a ton of people. So if you do have it, pop it in and watch alongside us for the first time and then hear what we have to say about it next episode. I'm sure we'll be full of bad takes. So so come back next episode to see what we have to say about Die Hard. As always, this has been the Film Bros Podcast. Thank you and good night.
good night.
Good night.